Hey Blockheads, this is DJ AK the Amanda Knight, and I'm here to let you know that my so-called whatever podcast and No More Games Radio have joined forces. Listen to No More Games Radio on Sundays at 2 p.m. for your favorite episodes of my so-called whatever podcast, and maybe a live episode? Who knows? Tune in to my so-called whatever podcast for upcoming No More Games radio features and exclusive stories from our staff and DJs. And as always, follow us on social media at No More Games Radio and at my so-called whatever. Hang tough!
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid as gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows, NKOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom! And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
We're back.
Oh, we are back.
We are back.
It's been a while, but I'll just say, and you remember, when we were preparing to put up this last episode last week, I did not remember recording that episode.
No, you didn't. No, you did not. Even when you listened to it,
I remembered nothing.
You were like, I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember this conversation.
That's hilarious.
Like, I really had thought that it had been like way longer since we had recorded.
So here's the thing. I know both of us were like beyond tired, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we were both sick, but we didn't have COVID.
Correct.
So I think the combination of all of that, because I didn't remember some of the things we talked about. And I was like, oh yeah, we talked about that. Okay. So
Same.
Yeah. But like, it made me so happy how happy people were that we were back.
I know, that was nice.
Yeah, it was so
Thanks,
nice.
Guys.
Happy anniversary.
Oh yeah, happy anniversary.
Yeah, we haven't
That
talked
was
about that.
The weekend we were in Boston, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And we appreciate all the thank you or the message. No, we thank you for all of the messages and well wishes. Thank you guys for your outpouring of posts and love on our 5th anniversary.
Yes. And 5 is a huge year, and I still feel really guilty that we didn't do anything. But it was kind of.
Why do you feel guilty?
Well, I don't know. It was just, I feel like we should have done something. But there was just no way to do it, because between our concerts that we were going to and the fact that our anniversary was on the day of our concert, it just wasn't possible. So maybe we'll do some fun stuff in the upcoming months. And I know we keep saying that, but we definitely, like, we're going to have a brainstorming session, and like, we're excited because we have a lot of stuff to give away.
Yeah, we do.
Like a lot of stuff. So we're going to try to figure out how to do that. Maybe see if we can make it into a fundraiser or something. So if you guys have ideas, don't hesitate to get a hold of me.
For
or
real.
Brooke.
If you have ideas, just let us know, because while Nikki and I will be brainstorming, you can help us along.
That would be amazing. So yeah, reach out
definitely.
to us. You can reach out to us on social media or email us, my so-called whatever at gmail.com. Also send your stories.
100%.
So right now people are going to Hawaii.
Safe travels, everyone.
And I have to say, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for them to go to Hawaii. But it is just probably not something I would ever do.
Go to Hawaii?
I'm not going to say never. I'm not going to say never. Yeah. Especially in the summer.
No.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'd be so hot. And
it's so far away.
Yeah. And it's just flying over the ocean would give me anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to go to Hawaii. I will go to Hawaii one day. But it's the flight. I hate flying. I am not good at flying. And coming from Bangor, Maine,
oh my God, it's so long.
The furthest northeastern airport, like for real, and then going all the way to Hawaii.
Right.
People do it all the time. I book people all the time.
Kevin did it, with his parents. Yeah. And I mean, but we would have to you'd have to at least make it 2 weeks. Like you'd have to. Because it's going to be like 2 days to travel.
I don't like sending people for less than 10 days when they're coming from here, because it's so many hours to get there, so many hours to get home. And like, how often are you going to do that trip? Granted, some people do it often. I have clients that go every year.
Now, if somebody said, hey, Nikki and Brooke, because I can't travel without Brooke, but hey, Nikki and Brooke, if you want to go to Hawaii and you want to go see New Kids, here's tickets. Okay, then I go. But that would be the only.
I feel like they'd have to also say, and also here are your plane tickets.
No. Everything covered.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, concert tickets.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Would be cheaper than airline tickets.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like, here's your plane tickets. Here's your
here is your all expense paid trip to Hawaii to see the New Kids.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yes. Never going to happen.
And be very happy.
Yeah. No. But I'm so excited for the people who are going. And I
am too.
I'm so excited. Our friend Courtney got the opportunity to go. Tomorrow is her birthday. And she's going to be in Hawaii with New Kids for her birthday. So I think that's awesome. Amazing.
Totally.
So, Brooke, we didn't intro last episode.
No, I was just going to say we didn't intro. We can't forget that again.
I know. So again, for your listening pleasure,
this is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
And this is my so-called whatever. And guess what it is? Welcome to the block party.
We ain't leaving now. Nobody. Nope.
No, not you guys. Not New Kids.
Especially since this is our third block party in a row.
I know.
So.
I know. We love it.
A basketball just rolled into our driveway and all the way down to the apartment next door. The neighbors across the street. Okay. They live on a hill. Okay. So it's like they're on top of a hill.
Yes.
They have a basketball hoop.
Oh.
On top of the hill. And I'm surprised this is the first basketball I've seen. So that crossed Broadway through traffic.
Oh my gosh.
And made it.
What would happen if you ran over a basketball?
I'm not really sure because I would assume it would pop because of the weight of the car.
Right.
But then I see videos of those exercise balls getting stuck in trampolines and I wonder.
Wait, what? There's wait.
Did I just say trampoline?
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. There were videos like that. I've never been on that side of TikTok.
No, they get stuck in treadmills. And but a basketball's hard. So I don't know. I don't want to try it either because I'm too afraid. But nobody's come across the street. But it's really busy traffic. So I don't even think they can cross the street right now.
Well, right. And what if it's a kid? Is it a kid?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh. I'm sure. So yeah.
Okay, so we've introed.
Let's start.
We're here. Let's get into it. Our Boston New Kids weekend.
It was
with
amazing.
Our families.
Yes, it was so fun.
It was so fun, you guys. So if you remember from the last episode, I talked about how I drove
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, meh.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we took the train
Game
and it
changer.
was the best thing we could have ever done.
Game changer. Game changer.
100%.
Let's do it every time.
Agreed. First of all, it was a great value. And I'm not talking
Yes.
Walmart. It was such a good price. And it was a comfortable ride. It went pretty quick.
Yeah. It was relaxing.
And it was kind of neat. Very stress-free.
We were sitting the correct way the train was going. That was a big concern to me because I was scared I was going to get motion sickness.
Right.
But no, it was
I think we figured out that they flip the seats.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, because the seats like turn. Because when we came back, I don't know if it was my seat or Sadie's seat, or maybe it was the seat in front of us. It was a little loose. And I like leaned on it and it kind of turned.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, they must turn the seats.
That makes sense.
Which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because this was my first train ride.
Mine too.
And it was Sadie's first train ride.
Well, besides the time I was on the train for Thomas.
Well,
but that just like went around like a loop.
That's a little different.
Right. And I also like when I was little got on a train and like there was like a robbery, like a fake robbery. It was like Belfast, I think. Like,
yes,
remember that?
I vaguely remember that. They might, I don't know if they still do that, but
I don't think they do because we drove by the spot and I was like, I did that once with Nan and Grant. Like I did that. Like and there's no more, there's like the train is there, but it's like, you could tell that there was like a station there and like a big thing, but it's like all
like overgrown, like not kept. Yeah. That's sad.
It is. Yeah.
But it was really fun. Like it was the first train ride for many of us.
Yeah.
And I bet Kevin had gone before.
No.
With his family. Oh,
no.
Really?
He'd never been on a train except Thomas.
Oh, wow.
So that was
his first Pete had gone before, but it had been years, like a long time.
Yeah, this was like my first like real train ride. Like
not
longer
like
than 15 minutes. Like,
well, right. I mean, I've been on the train at Disney World, but that's different.
The monorail's different. Yeah, I mean.
But anyway, it was really great.
Different.
Absolutely. It was really great though. And oh gosh. And our hotel.
It was so close.
It was so close. We like walked out. It was the Courtyard right there Courtyard by Marriott downtown North Station. And it was right there. I wish that I remember the name of the girl that did this, but she had posted in one of the Facebook groups for the tour that she had in many of the cities, she had secured a group rate.
What a great thing to do.
I know. And because originally we were booked in Cambridge.
For not much less.
No, it was more.
Oh, it was more?
It was significantly more, but it was like the best we could find. And we were going to drive because they had free parking and whatever.
Right.
We've stayed there before at the Hampton. But I saw this post and I was like, oh my gosh. So I checked out the rate. It was cheaper than what we had. It was where I had wanted to stay originally, but the prices were outrageous. And so I booked us rooms. And I did message her and I said to her, because she's a travel agent and I'm a travel agent. And I said to her, like, from one travel agent to another, I know the work that you put into this and it's a lot and it's appreciated. Like, thank you so much. Cause this is huge. Like, it was great.
Right.
And it was a great hotel.
Oh my God. Best. I'm going to say it. It was the best hotel I've ever stayed in.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it was great. I don't know if I'd say it was the best I've ever stayed in. But
now remember, I'm not like well versed with hotels. Do you know what I mean? But I just loved it.
It was a great experience though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great experience. It was super clean. Updated. It's newer.
Our room was pretty big. Like
your room was huge compared to mine.
It was.
It was huge. I mean, ours was fine for what we needed.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting like the usual Boston hotel room.
Yeah.
That's like small, like a New York City hotel room. No, this was like big.
It was really big. But they were playing New Kids music in the lobby.
Okay. So real funny thing. When we came through, I didn't hear it. And Brody was upstairs. He's like, wow, this hotel like must really like blockheads or something like that. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, they were playing you didn't hear the New Kids music downstairs? And I said, no. He was like, oh yeah, it's a party.
It was. And they were playing some like deep cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't all like hanging tough.
No.
It was awesome. So yeah, that was great. And so we came in on Friday.
Right.
And we had our first concert that night.
Right.
With our kids. Well, with our
Right.
daughters.
Right. Yes.
That was fun.
Yep. Bryn wore my New Kids shirt that I had gotten from maybe Urban Outfitters or one of those Forever 21. It was like a one size fits all. Not the case for me. It was like a bodycon dress on me. Not even a bodycon dress. Like, but it fit Bryn perfectly. So she wore it. And
yes. And Sadie wore the other shirt that you brought.
I did.
The like vintage.
Right. Because she didn't know she was kind of feeling out the situation, didn't really know if she was going to go. And if she didn't go, Birdie was like, I'll go. So
right.
I brought him a t-shirt.
I know. I felt bad.
No, don't feel bad because
I felt bad because
the way he explained it was that he just didn't want the ticket to go to waste. This is what he said.
Oh,
he just didn't want the ticket to go to waste. And since it was something that he didn't, he's like, because he kept saying it to me, because I kept saying, I will buy you a ticket. Like, Dad will take you. And he was like, no. It's okay. It's okay. Like the way he was saying it. So, I mean, he wanted to go because we were going and there was an extra ticket.
Right.
But he was okay not going.
But he was okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I mean,
so don't feel bad.
Sadie decided kind of last minute that she decided she wanted to go.
Yeah.
Which I thought she might do because once she got there and kind of saw what it was about.
Right.
And she'll tell you she didn't have a great time. She'll tell anyone. She'll tell you she didn't have a great time.
Why?
Because it's just Sadie. But she did. She was, first of all, her little face was as serious as could be the whole show. But she had such a bad time that she had her dad buy tickets the next day and take her to the next show. So, and we'll get into that, but I just had to say that.
I know Bryn was
10.
like, does she not want to be here? Like,
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. I mean, but it was a new experience for her. And there were a lot of people. And
the only other concert she had been to was JoJo Siwa.
Yeah. So,
which is different. It's a different experience.
It's a different experience altogether. Plus, there's a lot of kids there. There weren't a lot of kids here. There were kids, but
there were some kids, definitely. But I felt like there were less kids there than what we saw at Mohegan.
Really?
I felt like I saw more kids at Mohegan.
I didn't really notice.
I did, only because I knew that I was going to be bringing Sadie.
Right.
So I did notice in Mohegan, and then her and I had watched some videos.
Yeah.
And like when although they didn't bring up like CoverGirl.
Right.
But you could see in the videos like they would make of the younger girls and stuff, like the baby blockheads.
Right.
Like the kids. And sometimes bring them up for a second or whatever. Right. She noticed that didn't happen in Boston. I was like, well, it's all right. Yeah. They just didn't have as many kids there. It's fine.
Right. Joe was bringing kids up on stage.
Right.
To dance, which I thought was adorable. But yeah, they didn't do the like whole CoverGirl thing. Yeah. They didn't do that actually. in Hershey. They had done that the all tour, and they didn't do it in Hershey last tour because Bryn was with me.
Right.
You know, I hope I'm cover girl because she was younger.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it because it was raining and it was. But let me tell you, Beth, that was in my photo group, she like put in a good word for Bryn.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It was amazing. And yeah, I will say that Bryn had the time of her life. Like, I seriously, my heart was so full when I looked at her and she was singing every single song, knew every single word to every single song. And
in Boston or in Hershey?
In Boston.
Oh, okay.
I was like, how? So she must be listening to, because she knew the words to the new song too.
Oh, really? She must be listening to it. She must be listening.
She must be listening to it.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I just thought it was cool. And like,
cool.
I told her, I'm like, you're a baby blockhead. And she's like, well, I don't know if I would refer to myself as a baby blockhead because I'm not like, she doesn't like go do like Instagram edits and stuff like that, which are, you know what I mean? And I said, you don't have to do that kind of stuff to be a baby blockhead. You just have to be a fan, you know, like, right. And she was like, oh, okay, well then I guess I am a baby blockhead. So, because she does follow people on Instagram that like do the edits and stuff like that. They're a baby blockhead. So, and she follows Griffin on Instagram. You know?
Oh yeah, that
he's like, he's Brody's age, but he seems cool. So
yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. So we had our girls.
Yep.
And we got ready and then we left. And when we were passing, like going to the garden, there was this escalator. And it said step by step. And then it said Boston boys are back, which I was like, oh my God. Now I will tell you, on Sunday, when we came home, it was gone.
Like they took that down quick.
They were like taking that shit down like as soon as they could. But I just thought it was amazing. I thought it was really cool. And I'm glad we got a picture of the four of us.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's a good picture. That was really cool. But yeah, I wore my Boston Red Sox shirt from
last year from Fenway.
Because I wanted to wear it again because I loved it so much. So I just wore it again.
And I wore a shirt from Sparkle by Night.
And it was so cute.
Which one did I wear that night?
You didn't wear Best Night Ever because you wore that the next night.
No, it was Baby I Believe in You.
Yes.
And
she does a great job. She does job.
And they've washed really well.
Oh, that's really good. Now
they've washed really well.
This is why I have a Cricut, but this is why I cannot be in this business. Because for some reason, I can cut things, no problem. I can design things, no problem. I cannot for the life of me iron on that shit. I can't. Like it irons on. I made amazing. I thought they were amazing Disney t-shirts for us for October. Yeah. Every single one of them lifted. Yeah. Every single one of them. And I used different vinyl. Yeah. So it definitely wasn't the vinyl problem. It was a me problem. It was a Nikki problem. So, and I even have like Kevin went out and bought me the really nice press, like the big press.
Yeah.
I still have issues.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still going to make stuff for the cruise. Like, yeah. But again, I mean,
but I get what you're saying. Cause it's like, you wouldn't feel confident, like making it and like selling it.
No,
or anything
I do it for friends. Even like I was asked to do some stuff for some friends. And I even told them, I said, listen, like I'll cut it, I'll design it, I'll do all of that. But like, please have somebody else iron this because I just, number one, like I'd be too nervous that I'd mess up and you would need like a shirt to replace it. And I might mess that up too. So it's like, just have somebody else who's confident in ironing, not me. So yeah, I mean, her shirts are great. I felt great. You felt great.
Yeah.
It was the funny thing about that whole thing was that I wasn't hot until the garden was full. So
Which makes sense.
I felt fine, but it got so much hotter. Like I'm talking probably like 20 degrees.
Oh yeah.
Difference.
Once people once
If
it
not
filled.
more. Yeah. And so I got really hot. And I wasn't as hot the next night, which was weird. But update, can't take my sweat medication anymore. Had some complications. So my doctor's going to work with me and try to find something else, but yeah, I can no longer take my sweat medication, and we will talk about that in another episode, but because we can't talk about it now because then we'd be talking about what we have planned
about a future episode.
Yeah. So,
right.
So, we saw a ton of people.
Yes, we did. A ton of people. It's great.
The tickets that we had originally purchased, I had sold 2 because I had sold 2 on Ticketmaster, which never knew this, but they actually don't pay you until the concert happens. I guess a lot of things are like that. So yeah. Also was freaking out yesterday because they kept saying, like, I was trying to find where the deposit went. Cause I got the money, could not find it anywhere. Looked at all the accounts that were in my account, didn't go to any of those. They kept saying it got deposited to a debit card. I'm like, what debit card? There's no debit card on there. They're all credit cards. I've got a bank account and I've got credit cards. So nope, didn't go in a bank account, went in a debit card. I have no idea where they got this. And I have no idea how Kevin didn't notice, but it went into his personal bank account, which I have no idea. No clue. It was just weird.
That is weird, but at least you got it.
I got it. Yeah. So,
but not without a lot of stress.
Right. The other tickets I sold to Kim and Chad. And they were really good seats. Like really good seats.
They were great seats. Yeah, totally. In the grand scheme of the concert shenanigans and tickets that we had purchased this summer, it was a lot of money. And we were able to
get some of that back.
Some of that back.
Yeah.
And it was, and they were, and what we ended up with were great seats too. I felt like they were great seats.
So we were in the same section as where our old tickets were.
Right.
But I think her seats were great. I really enjoyed our seats. I was very happy. It was a different perspective. I think it would have been worse had we have done the meet and greet that night and then done, because I would have been like, but I kept saying, we're going to be closer tomorrow. We're going to be closer tomorrow. I didn't realize how much closer we would be the next day, but yeah, we were definitely a lot closer, like a lot.
Totally.
So, yeah, we had a good time. We saw tons of people. We saw Sharon, we saw Barbie and Brandon, who were sitting like right behind us.
Oh, they were like right behind us diagonal.
It was great to see them. We saw Leslie. We saw a lot of people. Yeah. We also, and thank you to all the people that came up and said hi to us. Like, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Totally.
Yes. Thank you.
It's really nice to see people input like faces to names.
Yes.
And a lot of you we've seen before too. Like it's not like we hadn't met you before, but it had been a long time.
Right. It had been a long time. Yeah.
Like years.
Years. It actually, a couple of the people that we saw, we hadn't seen since the last tour. Not Fenway, but the one before that. So that was what, like
3 years
ago?
I think was it 2019? That was 2019.
2019. So 3 years ago.
So 3 years. Crazy.
So yeah, the girls that were beside me were amazing. I just want to say that they were lovely people, because in the middle of New Kids performing, I got excited and threw my phone. I have no idea how it happened. It just was in my hand 1 minute and not the other. And I was freaking out because I had no idea which direction it went in. Like I didn't see
Right.
it.
Right. It didn't go far.
No, it didn't. But to the
But you wouldn't have known.
Right. To the girl who was beside me and stopped what she was doing, enjoying the concert. She stopped enjoying the concert to look for my phone. I just want to tell you, I love you. You are a great person. And thank you. Yes.
That was very nice of her.
Yeah. So at the end
if
of the
we
night,
knew who she was, we would buy her Frank Pepe's pizza.
Well, I know. And you know what? I had actually thought about it. I should have bought her a drink. I should have because I was going to ask her if I could get her a drink. Like I kept thinking about it. Like,
yeah,
I should see if and then the night, the performances got a hold of me and I was like, oh, okay, too late. But yeah, so that was our night one. I mean, we got back home and, we went to sleep. We didn't eat anything, but you guys got something. You got that.
Yeah, we ordered something and yes, from that diner. And it was the most delicious chicken sandwich I've ever had. It was so good.
That's amazing.
It was
Brody ended up getting it the next night.
Oh,
and
right.
Got the breakfast special.
Yep.
It was amazing.
Yes,
I got
Pete got French toast.
Oh yeah, that's what Brody got.
He got French toast, and he really liked it.
He got
I don't like French toast.
Bacon, hash browns, all kinds of stuff. It was like $20, but it was worth it because it was a lot. And
yeah,
the apple empanadas that they had. Ooh,
oh really?
They were so good. They were so good. I've never had anything like that before. They were so good. So should we talk about night two?
Let's talk about night two.
Okay.
Oh gosh, night two.
Courtney
I gotta
joined
rack
us for night two.
My brain. Yes, she did. It was so nice to see Courtney.
Yeah,
it's always nice to see Courtney.
She happened to be able to get tickets that were like so close to us. They were like very, very near us. And let me just tell you, the seats we had, friggin' amazing.
They were good.
They were so good. You can look at the pictures on our website and you can see how close we were because we were like right on the stage. Like it was like having a bar stool without a bar stool. And instead of the stage being right there, it was a big speaker. But
right. Nikki had a speaker like directly next to her ear.
Mm-hmm.
It was really loud.
My ear is finally okay, but it took a while.
It was really loud. Like when we first got to our seats, and I mean, we'll get here, but when we first got to our seats and we were like figuring out like which one of us is sitting where, I was standing next to the speaker and it hurt. And then I moved in one and it was a huge difference. Just that one seat over. It was a huge difference.
It was awful. I should have brought earplugs, but I didn't know we were going to be that close. Like I had no idea.
Well, we didn't know where the seats.
No,
I mean we knew where the seats were, but we didn't know where the seats were.
Right, and I kept trying to figure it out on the map, but I just
same, and I couldn't.
I think if I would have spent a little more time, maybe I would have known, but I didn't, and so it was a big surprise. And I was like, oh, these are fantastic seats. These are amazing seats. But it was our anniversary. So that was cool. Yeah. It was cool to celebrate our podcast anniversary there. And we'll get to some fun stuff. Brooke is gonna tell all of that jazz.
Oh gosh, that's what I'm like racking my memory for.
So we got Wahlburgers delivered.
Yes, we got correct, DoorDash,
yep.
Wahlburgers.
And so Deepa is one of our really good friends. Deepa's the one I had tequila shots with on the cruise.
Deepa's
and
awesome.
I love her. Like I love her. And we got to hang out because she was staying in the same hotel. So we got to hang out while we ate Wahlburgers. She came down and we talked for a while. So long that I was like, oh shit, what time is it? Like we got to get ready.
Like we needed a shower and get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So I busted like getting ready because it like
we had to. We didn't have any. We didn't have much
that
time.
Little time. And I ended up wearing my Joe t-shirt because listen, I just wanted to. Okay, I love it. I love the shirt. I get it.
You don't have to explain yourself.
I feel like I do. I don't know why. Nobody's ever said shit about it. Like no one's ever said anything to me about it.
And they wouldn't.
But I wore that and I got
they
the
would
most
know better.
I got the most amazing skirt that again would never wear anywhere other than this concert. And it was a sequin skirt. It looked like confetti. And it was fun.
It was cool. It was very fun. It was a great outfit.
Those two things, and you wore your best night ever.
Yes, best night ever. Sparkle by Night. Our
photo group was awesome.
Amazing, of course. Yep.
Very, very good photo group. Actually, one person in our photo group. This is like bizarre, but she lives like 30 minutes away from us. Never met her. She's a blockhead. And
crazy.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some kind of Maine meetup. Like I feel. Like trying to find these blockheads from Maine, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Pete and Sadie ended up getting tickets, but you already said that.
They did. They ended up getting tickets, and Sadie wore her Rick Astley t-shirt that she got the night before.
So cute. And I know Brooke's going to say something about this, but so there was a documentary being filmed, and Brooke had actually talked to them or heard somebody. No, you didn't talk to them. You heard somebody else talking to them saying like, why are you here in our hotel?
Yes. So it was the day before. It was, I think Friday when we were getting ready to leave to go to the concert that first night. There were these guys with all this like AV equipment. Mm-hmm. And I heard somebody ask them, and it was like some old guy. Like he wasn't going to the concert.
Right.
He was just like a guest. He was lucky enough to be a guest during Blockhead weekend. Anyway, he asked them, "Oh, are you recording the concert?" Mm-hmm. And they said, "No, but we are, more like talking to people more like outside of the venue or whatever." And and that was it. That was the whole conversation I heard. But I thought, oh gosh, Brody would fit in really well with them. He'd go talk to anybody. So I said that.
Oh gosh, that's funny. And he totally would. He really would talk to him about anything. He would have gotten to talking about math, even though it has nothing to do with what they were talking about. And
that's all right. And then, but then the next night, mm-hmm. when we were meeting up, we were kind of just standing outside the doors,
with our photo group.
Like that's basically where everybody was like standing and waiting.
Right.
There were those AV guys,
mm-hmm.
and this woman
who was in our photo group. Well, they were there for one of the girls that were in our photo group.
Right.
Yeah.
They were talking to lots of people though.
Yeah. They had actually been to her house earlier that day.
Which I don't like. I didn't know that. We didn't know that.
I only know it because she told me that after.
Right.
Or like during. And then we're friends on Facebook now. And so I saw that she had posted when they were at her house and I think it was, I don't know this for sure. Okay. So I'm just saying this. I do not know that this is the case, but I'm guessing it's the same call that went out looking for people in Boston who were fans in the Boston area. I think there was something going around. I could be wrong.
I don't remember. It would make sense though.
Yeah. So
all I know is,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, all I know is I saw these people with cameras and this woman talking to people on camera. Mm-hmm. And I was not having that. So I turned around and I looked at your husband and I said, I don't know what these people are, but I don't want any part of it. I don't know what this is. And so I just turned around and then I look.
This is embarrassing.
And then I look and I see you, and I think it was Courtney. But Michelle was there, Amy was there, but I definitely saw you, and it looked like you were posing for the camera.
I wasn't.
Now, it was just the way you were standing, but like you guys were in full view of the camera, and I was like, they're gonna see the back of my head.
That's embarrassing because I don't know what I was doing because I was just so nosy. wanting to know what was going on.
Because we really didn't know at this point. I definitely didn't. And
I was so like, I wasn't trying to pose. Like but I guess I was.
It was just the way you were standing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad maybe that I have a okay pose if they film me.
It was probably the shoes.
It's embarrassing because if I'm like posed, when you said posed, all I could think of is my hands on my hip. And I'm like, pose.
Yeah. Your hand, I think your hand was on your hip.
Oh my God.
But I don't know. I do know that I did sign the release.
Yes, you did.
So I signed it. I didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't really, but I would be in the background. And
so,
that's fine.
Like they just came over and like, they were like, hey, hi. I think she asked, what's your name? And I said, my name's Nikki. And she's like, so you guys like really big fans? And we were like, yeah. And I was like, actually, which you guys, I never do this. Like, I never do this. But I was like, we have a New Kids on the Block podcast. And she was like, what? And I said, yeah, we have a New Kids podcast.
I did hear her. She sounded genuinely excited and interested.
And she was like, tell me more. And so I was like, well, we're New Kids. We're primarily New Kids, 80s, 90s, but we do talk a lot of boy bands. But like, we do talk a lot about New Kids. Like we start, it's a lot of New Kids. And I can't remember the other questions she asked me, but when she was asking me questions, they were filming as far as I know. And then afterwards she asked me for my number. So I gave her my number and she texted me because I said, we'd love to have you on the podcast. Like, it'd be so fun to talk about this. So she texted me, I texted her back. I hadn't texted her again since that Saturday. Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I actually, just before we got on, I just texted her.
Did she respond yet?
Not yet. No.
Oh, okay.
I said, this is what I said. I said, hey, Stephanie, this is Nikki. We met in Boston before the meet and greet at the New Kids on the Block concert on July 16th. I was the one that told you my friend and I have an NKOTB podcast, also 80s and 90s, and we talk a lot about boy bands. It's called My So-Called Whatever. We would love to have you on our podcast to talk about the documentary.
Perfect.
So, yep.
So we'll see if that is a future episode.
See where it goes. I get the feeling I will probably be cut out because that's usually what happens. And I'm 100% okay with that because I get nervous. Like I do these things and then I'm like, why did I do that? Backstreet Boys. We will talk about that in another episode.
Right.
But yeah, so we talked with them for a little bit and then they were still filming and they said our photo group needed to go because we were a group of 10 and other people still didn't have groups of 10. So they were like, you guys are going to go. So we started going, but here's the weird thing is like, I was assuming, okay, we're going and they're just gonna like, we're going to go and do the pictures now, but no, we just went into the lounge and we were there for a while. So I was like, oh, okay.
I liked that.
The food was amazing. The
food was so much better than the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Those little chicken sliders were good
too, to be honest with you.
No, agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm surprised because, with Mohegan, I was expecting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They had some fancy stuff, but like not stuff that I would eat if my stomach was nervous.
Right.
Right. Because, so yeah, I still couldn't eat this time. It's like, I just can't eat in like unfamiliar situations, like are just freak me out. So even though I've done this multiple times, I knew it was still going to be different. So I couldn't eat.
I can always eat. I had one of those chicken sliders and it was delicious. And I think I just had some like cheese cubes. I wasn't super hungry because we had Wahlburgers not too long before that.
Right.
But those little chicken things looked good. So I had one.
I did have a drink. I didn't drink before I went to see them, but I had like a soda. I think I had like a Coke or something. Because you kept telling me I needed to drink like water, something, liquids. I needed to drink something. So I did that because I was really dry because of the sweating medication. And we just waited until they called our group. And when they called our group, we waited in this like stairway. And we had to put all our stuff away. But we like waited for a while.
We did. We waited for a long time.
That's where I was talking to the other girl about the documentary. Was in the stairwell because she was behind me.
Yeah.
Bryn, come here. Did you have fun at the New Kids on the Block concert?
Yeah.
Did you have a really good time?
Yeah.
You want to do it again?
Absolutely.
Okay. She was just here, so I just thought, man on the street, you know.
Man on the street.
Okay, so then it's time. We start going. The line starts moving. It's our turn.
Yep.
Brooke goes before me this time because she's with John.
Right. I was with John, hence the best night ever shirt.
And
KNIGHT.
I was with this woman who had never met them before. Joe was her favorite. Like it was her birthday too, I think. You know, this is her moment. I'm not going to speak unless spoken to.
People had done it for you, your first one, not
Correct.
for me.
Right.
But that's okay.
Right.
I hold no ill will or feelings.
Yeah. So I don't remember.
I remember some.
I don't think Danny said, because Danny was still talking to her, to the girl in front of me that was with Joe, when we went through. So, and then he just started talking to the person after me. So I don't even think I hugged him. No, I don't think I did.
Well, it's like when I didn't hug Jordan. That was sad.
Yeah, it was.
But I hugged Jordan this time.
Yeah, I and it wasn't his fault. I just think he looked up and the line was moving.
Right.
So he just,
it's
went
very
to the next
fast.
Person, and it was fine. It was not a problem.
It's a very fast interaction.
Right.
Anyone that's done it knows that.
Right.
So it would be easy to like not have that,
Right.
That's what happened to me in Mohegan.
Right.
That's why I didn't hug Jordan, because it was too fast and I needed to move to his left side.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did talk to Donnie and I said like, hey, I'm Nikki from My So-Called Whatever, the podcast that, he's like, oh yeah. And he's like, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And he goes, no, I love you. And I was like, no, I love you too. And then it was like on to the next. And I think I hugged Jordan. But then this is where it was getting like Joe started talking about our podcast and I was like, what is going on?
Right. So, okay. So when I walked in, I saw Danny and I told him like, the show was great last night. And he said, yes, it was really special. And I said, it must be so nice to be back in Boston. And he was like, well, it was more than that. And then I hugged him and that was it. And then I told Donnie that we still wanted him on the podcast because I had mentioned that to him on Mohegan. And he said, well, and I said, I sent you a message. I sent you a DM so that it's there. And I'll send you another one if you need me to, whatever it was. It was something like that. Like I sent you a DM about it. And he said, well, when can we do it? And I said, anytime. And he said, well, I don't think we have enough time tonight.
I was like,
and I said, no, I think you're right. I think we don't have enough time tonight. And he said something along the lines of like soon, like we'll figure out something soon. So cool. Like that's in the universe
cool,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So then I talked to Jordan. I don't really remember what I said to Jordan at first. I was like, nice to see you. The show was great. I did tell him the show was great last night. You did amazing. I did get a hug that time. Like I made sure of it. And then it was Joe. And so then I said to Joe, I don't know how. I don't remember how we got on the podcast. I think I may have just introduced myself as being from the podcast. And he was like, I know, or I something. And then so anyway, somehow Joe and I talked about the podcast and he said, maybe he overheard me saying something to Donnie about it, is what it was. Whatever it was. Oh, wow. Did you get Jordan on the podcast? And then I look back at Jordan, and Jordan looks over at us, and he had this look on his face like, huh? And he was like, yeah, Jordan's going to be on the podcast. Jordan, you got to get on it. You got to, whatever. And then it was time to move on.
Yeah.
And I was heading over towards John.
This is the best.
No,
this is the best.
This is what happened. This is what happened.
This is the best.
Okay.
This is the best.
I remember. So no, I had moved on from Joe. I was going to John, and then Joe like grabbed my arm. Right. And I turned back and he said, you're going to get Jordan on the podcast. That's how it happened. Okay. And I looked back and then there's Jordan like looking at me and Joe like, huh? And probably scared. And I was like, I would love to have Jordan on the podcast. Like, I would love to have Jordan on the podcast. That would be amazing. And then he said, what about John? John, are you going to be on the podcast? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I was just going to ask John about that. And then I went over to John. And John was like, huh, podcast? And I said, yes. So I am, for the My So-Called Whatever podcast, my name's Brooke. And we would love to have you on the podcast, John. We don't have to talk about New Kids. We can talk about your show. We can talk about your farm. We can talk about old houses. I said, we live in Maine. We're from Maine. And he's like, oh, Maine? And yeah, and then we posed for the picture. So we took the picture and then we had a hug. And then after the hug, he said, so this podcast, so what do? You record it in your basement or something? And I said, well, we do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
From home.
Right.
I said, but we would really love to have you on. And then that was it. So then we need to figure out a way to get in touch with him. Mm-hmm. That's all. So, but that was it. And then that was the end of my meet and greet. And it was pretty awesome. John was awesome. He's got so much personality.
He does. He's really nice. So when I was coming down the way, the girl it was her first time and it was her birthday. She was talking to Joe. In between him saying the thing to Jordan and whatever. And so when they got to, I just let them talk. And then he looked over to me and he goes, hey, you. And I was like, excuse me. Excuse me. And I said, excuse me. He's like, I'm Nikki. I'm from the My So-Called Whatever podcast. And he goes, I know. And yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I mean, right. But honestly, because it was also like, this was all in the recent, not future, but it was all in the recent past.
Right.
Like the whole, like your individual and everything in that moment, he probably did. Cause we had also just been talking about it.
Maybe, but you know how I am. I'm very pessimistic.
I don't think that
stuff.
I don't think that if you guys were like, if you like bumped shoulders in in a mall or somewhere, I don't think he'd be like, hey, that's Nikki from My So-Called Whatever.
Come on. No.
But in that environment, in that setting, I could see that.
That's all
it was great. It was a really good interaction.
That was it. And I was just like, I couldn't talk after that. I was just like, whatever, seriously. I did hug Jordan because I noticed he was chewing gum.
Yes.
So we got to see a ton of people in the lounge after this. And Michelle and Amy were going and having their individuals.
Oh my gosh.
Which was amazing. Yeah. I really want to have them on. I don't want to really say much.
No, I know. I really want Amy to talk about that in her words.
Yes.
She had something really amazing happen.
Right. We got to see so many people. And I was so happy because we haven't seen these people in a long time. And like Lori, I have been talking to for a very, very long time. Lori, you know who you are? Lori Latham, who takes the amazing pictures.
You know what you did, Lori.
Oh my God, her pictures. Oh my God. Like I can't. There were some pictures she took and I'm just like, these are unbelievable. But I was so glad we got to like spend some time with her. Also got to spend some time with Heather and I got to see
Yep.
JJ.
Yeah.
And I got to take a picture with Mr. Wood. Now that I know who he is. I'm like 5 years ago when I didn't know who he was. He looked familiar,
Right.
but I didn't know who he was. Like I said, I thought he was just there with his wife or something. And we got to see Sharon and Jenny and Amber. So many people. And
Yeah.
if I've missed your name, I'm sorry. Love you. So glad we were
Love you,
able
mean
to-
it.
Yes, love you so much. I'm so glad we were able to see. I can't wait to see you again because I really wish I could spend more time and, hang out with people, but it goes so fast. So, then we went to our
Seats.
our seats. Oh, I got to meet Melissa too for the first time. She has a great story. And I've been trying to get her on the podcast for a while. She has an amazing story, amazing story. So finally got to meet her.
Stay tuned.
Met her in the bathroom. So went to our seats. We got drinks.
Yeah.
We got
Very
drinks this
important.
time. Yeah. In Nikki fashion. Drink got dumped.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, when this happened, I was so embarrassed because I had set it in a very strategic position. So I couldn't really kick it over because I was drinking it and I got acid reflux. And I was like, I can't keep drinking this. I'm going to have horrible acid reflux, old people problems. And these people kept walking by and there wasn't really a lot of space for them to walk.
No, there wasn't.
By and I don't know why, because everything else seemed very well spaced, but between the speaker and our row, there wasn't a lot of room. And so somebody had gone by and I tripped. And when I tripped, I hit my drink and it spilled. And you guys, I was mortified. I tried to pick it up as quick as possible. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who I could tell.
Right.
It was in the middle of the concert. I didn't know what to do. It wasn't like I just kicked it over and was like, oh, whatever. And I totally wasn't like that. Cause I was looking around for somebody it wasn't.
Yes, I wasn't there.
No, you weren't.
I wasn't there. I went up to go eat. That was either when I went to the bathroom.
No, you were there. You were there. You were there when I kicked it.
No, when I came back,
it was during the concert. That must have been somebody else's because that wasn't mine. This was during the concert that it happened.
Yeah, I went. I left the concert twice.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this was during the concert. Well, there was a girl in the back, and she Brooke heard her when they were cleaning it up, and she was like, "I didn't do it," and she was talking about me.
No one said you did.
Right, and it's I didn't do it on purpose. It's not like I was being disrespectful. It was an accident.
And
she
was just a bitch.
I was mortified because you know how little things like that really bother me. It still bothers me because I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of person to spill something and just be oh, well, I just didn't know what to do. So I was kind of trying to brush it, and it really wasn't that much. It wasn't a whole beer spilled. I drank over half of it. So
no,
anyway.
when I came back from the bathroom, because I didn't. Okay, so I left the concert once, and it was to go to the bathroom because I really had to go.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I walked through a puddle, and I was like, "Oh, I see what happened here."
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. And then the guy came and cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
I felt so bad though, but it was such an accident.
Well, yeah, accidents happen.
So
it was fine.
So
that girl just was a bitch.
Girl, if you're out there, I'm sorry if I ruined your night because I spilt my drink. It was an accident. So
she doesn't remember. She was probably drunk.
I don't know. We had a girl in front of us though that was amazing. And she was
amazing
the whole time. She made me like the concert even more because she was hyped up. So I felt like she
had the best energy.
She did.
She had the best energy.
She did. And it just made, like, when people are like that and they have a lot of energy and they're just like they don't give a shit.
Right. She was having a great time.
And I was like, then I felt like I could have a good time. Do you know what I mean? So I was dancing the entire night. And behind us, which I tried not to look too much because I didn't want to be one of those like,
right.
Ooh, look, but like right beside us. Yeah. And then Jenny was there. Her dad actually walked through.
Oh gosh.
And almost tripped over my foot. That's how close this was. Like, that's how close everything was. And he was actually on the other side, like trying to get by through the speaker, but like the thing like blocked the speaker. So he actually had to like come into the aisle. And he grabbed right a hold of me and I was like, I got you, I was like, I got you. And so he was trying to go through, but the guy wasn't going to let him. And some girl's like, do you know who he is?
Right. The security guard was like blocking him.
Right. And he's like,
and he was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. He was just going to go, but they let him go. So, but like Jenny was there. D-Nice was there.
And Jenny looked beautiful.
I love her. Seeing her in person, she is so freaking adorable. She's so perfect. Like,
I don't understand. Like, her makeup is amazing. She looks like an airbrushed picture. She looks like a Photoshop picture. I don't understand how that works.
Some people that are just like perfection
naturally flawless.
Yes. And she is one of those people.
And obviously, like, she was wearing like she wears makeup, like, obviously she doesn't run around like on the day to day always. But
I've seen her on TikTok without makeup and she looks just as good.
Oh, she has great skin.
She's gorgeous. So
she has beautiful skin.
I wish we could be best friends
mm-hmm.
because I want to know all her.
I wish that we could have her on the podcast.
I know. I want to know all her skincare suggestions.
Yep.
And I've always loved Jenny McCarthy. You know this. We've always
loved
Jenny.
We've talked about this. Yeah.
Right. It's in our second episode, third episode how much we love Jenny McCarthy. And so I was by the speaker all night. I was deaf by the time the night was over. And that was my good ear. So yeah.
So it was rough.
Right. But it was a great concert. We have lots of video and pictures that we're going to post on the website.
Yep.
And I saw Alyssa at the end.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Alyssa's one of our good friends. She is one of the people, if you probably remember us talking about this, but in case you don't, she actually contacted us after I told the story, thinking nobody would know what I was talking about this guy I had a crush on that went to Coney High School in Augusta. And she totally knew who I was talking about. And I was like,
that's funny.
I've been found. I remember it happened at your house and we were in the basement and I almost threw up.
I remember you were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Same thing with Jerusha. Jerusha did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, Brooke. Like, and this was like early on. This was like within the first couple months.
Oh yeah. This was
months.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If we were recording in my basement, it was a long time ago.
Right. So that was our second Boston night.
Yeah.
And
it was fun.
Yeah, it was great. And then we went to sleep, got up, took the train back home. And it was such a much better drive back home because we only had like an hour and 15 minutes or something, hour and a half.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It was amazing. It was awesome. I would do that again over and over.
Stopped at Arby's, realized that I no longer like the dip and Swiss.
What?
I know. That's weird.
That's weird.
Things like that have been happening lately to me. Things that I've liked my entire life, I don't like anymore. Like I won't eat pizza anymore. It's not that I don't
can't
like
imagine.
Pizza, but it just destroys me. So
yeah, red sauce. I can't do red sauce.
I probably need to get my acid reflux checked out. So
probably.
But yeah, so that was our
weekend.
And it was amazing. And then a few days later, we went and saw Backstreet Boys, and we will talk to you about that in the next episode.
Right. Oh gosh. That'll be an episode.
Yes.
It was good though. It was good. It was just it was different.
Surreal. It was surreal because it was happening in Bangor. Like, so this was surreal. It was like,
Right.
is this really happening? They are in Bangor right now, like in our, like down the
Like
street.
this is where we live.
Yeah, they're right down the street. It literally took us like 3 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So
which was great.
yeah, we could have walked, but it was really hot.
Super
It
hot.
was one of the hottest days of the summer.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that. Definitely my handheld fan was put to good use.
MVP.
Yep. So if you guys don't have a handheld fan, you need to make sure that it's a bigger one. So always look at the size.
Yeah, mine's a little too small, but I did get my neck fan, the folding
Yes.
neck fan.
And you
Let
like
me
it?
tell you, that
Does it
thing
go in the
is-
back? Does it?
It does.
pump? Okay, because the one that I got is okay. It was great the first time I used it.
Yep.
Awesome, amazing. The very first time I used it.
Yep.
The second time I used it, it wasn't as good, and then the third time I used it, I wasn't as like Backstreet Boys. I wasn't as impressed with it.
Interesting.
I don't know if it has something to do that we were outside, but cruise is coming up,
Maybe.
which we will be doing multiple episodes about the cruise. So if you're a first time cruiser, come back. If you have questions about what's going to happen on the cruise, send them in. We can keep them anonymous if you want.
Yep.
And we will get our cruise experts to answer. We got to get Christina Meyer on here.
Yes, we do.
I think she's
Talk
been
about
on
a
every
cruise
single
expert.
one. She's been
Yep.
on every single cruise. So Christina, you know what you did. But yeah,
you know what you're
so-
gonna do. You're gonna be our
We're already
cruise
talking
expert.
about it, and I haven't even reached out to you yet, but we want you. We want Christina. So love you guys.
so much. Thank you for the last 5 years.
Yes, thank you so much for supporting us. Like, Brooke, honest to God, I can't believe this has been 5 years.
I know.
So now when people ask me like how much longer, it happens every once in a while. I'm like, I have no idea, because I didn't think we were going to make it this long. So,
No, I didn't either.
and I don't have any, right now, I don't have any feelings about ending it. So
No,
when it's time, it's time.
that's
And
right.
Until then, let's share your stories. So send them to us.
My so-called whatever at gmail.com.
That's right. And until next week, we'll be loving you forever.
And ever.
Amen. Oh, by the way, real quick,
Yeah.
those TikToks make me cry.
What TikToks?
The ones that play that song and then they isolate his vocals.
Oh,
They make me cry, especially the pet
Oh.
ones. The pet ones.
Oh,
I can't do it. I can't do
that's
it.
hard.
Okay. So
Okay.
anyway, we'll be loving you forever. Love you. Bye.
Bye.